You got this, Quinn. You're almost there. Yes! Another win! Another power-up! Hey! My name is Quinn. Welcome to my gaming headquarters, also known as our family loft, where me and my family hang out. I was just playing Power-Up Racers. You know, in all the racing games I've ever played, and trust me, I've played a lot. This one is totally my favorite. With every race I win, I get a new power-up for my race car. Video games are not the only thing I like. I also really like boba tea. Oh, and of course, the color pink. Like, I've got a pink book bag and a pink lunchbox, a pink stuffy collection, and last month, for my birthday, my parents threw me a pink party. It was awesome. Oh, and my best friend gave me the most perfect pink slippers that I was obsessed with until a couple of days ago, my little brother did something he knew he wasn't supposed to do. He used my slippers to play fetch with our dog, Mr. Ruffles. What did Mr. Ruffles do? He chewed up, slobbered on, and basically destroyed my new favorite slippers. To be honest, when I came home from school and found my slippers all chewed up, I was so frustrated and angry with my brother. My parents told me that even though my brother was wrong for doing that, I should still love him. But the last thing I wanted to do was show him love. I know my parents are right, but I keep asking myself, how can I really show love? Have you ever thought about that? Whenever I have big questions like this, I go to the Bible to look for the answers. The Bible is God's true message to us about Himself. The Bible tells us so many things about God. One of them is that God is love. This means everything God says and does is done with love. God wants us to be like Him and show others love like He does, which I guess means even little brothers too. All through the Bible, I am reminded that people sin, which means we choose to do what we think is best instead of what God says is best. Still, God shows His love to people over and over and over again. Let's look in the Bible and see what it says about God's love. God's big story. God had a great big plan for the world He made. In the very beginning, God made a perfect world. He created a man called Adam and a woman called Eve, then gave them an important job to take care of everything He made. God's plan was to have a relationship with the people He made, and God's plan was best, but something went wrong. God told Adam and Eve to enjoy everything He made and gave them an important rule: do not eat from the tree in the middle of the garden. But Adam and Eve broke God's rule. They disobeyed God and chose to do what they thought was best, rather than follow what God said was best. This is called sin. Our sin makes God sad. God is holy and perfect, and He must punish sin. Because they disobeyed, Adam and Eve had to leave the garden and live in a broken world filled with sadness, sickness, pain, and where one day they would die. Let's hit pause. Sin is a big problem. A problem everyone has, including me. Like the other day, I lied to my dad when he asked me if I had eaten the last slice of pink party cake. So instead of telling him I ate it, I told him that my little brother ate it. I lied and did something I knew I shouldn't have done. Kind of like my brother did to me with the slippers. So, since everyone has sinned, how can we love each other? Let's keep reading. After Adam and Eve, people continued to sin, and the brokenness continued to spread. Sin broke God's good plan for His people, but God was still in control of His plan. He promised He would send someone to rescue people from their sin. That someone is Jesus. Many years later, God sent an angel to a woman named Mary to give her a special message. she would have a baby, and that baby would be God's son who would rescue his people. Jesus is God's son and the king over everything. Jesus came to take the punishment for sin so we could have a relationship with God. Jesus wants to forgive our sin because he loves us. Jesus offers us the greatest gift of all, to have the same kind of forever life with him. After Jesus took the punishment for our sin by dying on the cross, he came back to life. Jesus is alive. Jesus returned to heaven, but he will come back again one day. When Jesus comes back, he will make everything perfect and new again, just like God's plan from the beginning. Whoa! God's love is so amazing that even sin can't stop it. Because of that love, we can show that same love to others. God's plan for our world from the beginning was perfect in every way, but our sin messed it up. Sin breaks the best relationship ever, our relationship with God. We could never fix this sin problem on our own, so God planned to send his son Jesus to fix what we had broken and forgive us for our sin. Because of God's love for all of us, we can share that love with other people. We can share an extra snack with a friend who doesn't have one, or we can help someone who fell on the bus. You can even show love to people who aren't the nicest to you. Like maybe you have a brother who didn't follow the rules, but you can still show him love by forgiving him. You know, I should probably go do that right now. Remember, God's love is the best, and we can share that love with other people. Hey, little bro, where are you?